Okay, this is the video for EDAD 697, clinical practice number 2, school leadership shadowing focus. So I sat in on a professional development, one of the last of the school year for our staff on ACEs, or Adverse Childhood Experiences, which is a growing field study. It's a really important, a test, but also information that can be used. It's kind of like an inventory that can be given to anyone, but in this particular case, we are thinking about using it with our students to inform us of just all the difficulties and challenges and traumas that they bring to the classroom and to school, so that we as educators can be better informed about how to respond empathetically, appropriately, and in a way that's going to teach our students how to overcome these childhood experiences. So we had a representative from our central office who was trained by LACO, the Los Angeles County Office of Education. Some principals, school leaders, and representatives from our central office were trained about ACEs. And the idea is to make sure everyone in our school community is aware of what ACEs is, both as a study, a test that can be given, but also, more importantly, what it is in the real, actual lives of our kids. So I sat in on the professional development. It was really interesting. I had been familiar with ACEs already. I'd heard the term and actually had received a training. I didn't receive the training, but I was aware of a training that was given to the staff at my old school. But this really dived deep, and one of the most important parts is that although the training was given by a member of our central office, our principal actually co-led the presentation and gave a lot of valuable input and perspective about how it affected her own life. And she is a Black woman who grew up in South LA, and our school is serving mostly Black and Hispanic students from socially economically challenged backgrounds, a lot of kids from foster youth, a lot of kids from single family homes, not over 90% getting free and reduced lunch, so impoverished. So it's really relevant. It's really important information that teachers need to know, because there is a big culture shock factor when a lot of teachers come to our school community. They kind of just write it off as kids being disrespectful, not wanting to learn, not knowing how to behave, all those quotes and cliches you hear about kids from inner city or poor backgrounds. And unless you have this information and you're armed with this understanding, it's easy to make those snap judgments. It's easy to write kids off as problems or troublemakers, and that's not fair, and it's not productive, and it just doesn't, it perpetuates the cycle, right? A cycle of inequity, cycle of poverty. So this training was really, really detailed. It was really informative. I thought it broke it down in a way that was really easy to understand for teachers. It got to the nitty gritty, just the bare bones, the fact that this is a very important study that was done, 20, 30 years ago actually now, that measured through a simple test of 10 questions how childhood trauma has affected someone's life. And it gives a predictor of those traumatic childhood experiences, how it affects you growing up and how it affects your success, your chances of success in life. So we all got a chance to take the ACEs test too, which was the most interesting. My principal shared her story of growing up in South LA, only having one parent, being judged and discriminated against in school, and how she persevered and overcame. Now she's given back to her school community. And again, that's really important because our principal looks, talks, and has lived a life similar to the kids that we're serving have. So it was powerful seeing her up there. I can tell it's something she's passionate about. It's something that not only are we trying to give this to the staff, but eventually we want to make this ACEs test, almost like a diagnostic test for kids. So the short-term goal is to try it for select number of kids. We're talking about probably our returning students at the high school level because most likely they're going to be the ones mature enough to handle a test like this. So a select kind of like control group to see if the information we get can be useful, and then we can tailor our interventions, tailor the services that we offer, counseling, a school psychologist, all the social emotional supports towards students who have a high ACER score. Let's see what the results yield, and then eventually expand that and grow the administration of that test to almost every student. So we have that information and we can serve their diverse needs. So a great training, very informative. Again,